We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
Welcome everybody, this is Matt Monarch with the Raw Food World TV show. Coming at you in Vilcabamba, Ecuador. And Angela Stokes-Monarch has a recipe. What's been going on here is she's been eating energy soup every day and putting it in her blog, and everybody's like, I want to see it. So what we're going to do is film that today. But first I'd like to share a little story.
Baba!
Last night I was lying in bed, we were going to bed, and in one split second she just starts laughing her brains out. And I'm like, what? What was so funny in that one split second? In this one split second she was wearing this color of a shirt here, and she was talking about, maybe you can finish the story.
Baba!
Going into the middle of the town of Vilcabamba, dressed in this color, because she was already wearing this color, she was imagining me in this, and walking around like little cats. And that's what she was laughing at, and that was like a real long story in 1 minute of a second of her
Like
little head.
tigers.
Tigers,
Baba.
yes.
On all fours, crawling around, making tiger noises.
Yeah, and look at what I'm wearing. I'm wearing all this color just for the pretty today.
Oh, he's a very nice one, isn't he?
Okay, so here we go. Energy soup.
Alright, so I have gone through many different phases of eating primarily energy soup on my raw food journey, and it's always different depending on where I am. So I'm in an energy soup phase again right now, and as Mr. Monarch said, people keep asking what is that and what do you put in it, so I'm going to show you what I'm currently eating as energy soup. I don't know if Anne Wigmore, who was the person who first brought us energy soup, would necessarily agree that this stuff that I'm going to put in makes it energy soup.
And that's because the first ingredient is 2 dead dogs.
Baba. Not be rude, Baba.
Nah.
Anne Wigmore always used Rejuvalac in her energy soups, as far as I know, which is a fermented drink, and she also always puts sprouts in them, and I don't have any sprouts here, so we're just doing some kind of version of energy soup. So the first thing that's going to go in is cucumber, and these are lemon cucumbers, amazing lemon cucumbers from our greenhouse. And so what I tend to do is to peel most of it, but I leave a little bit to get some of the nutrients from the skin. The skin of these are really hard and rough and prickly, so I take most of it off, but I leave a bit because very often, and I think definitely in the case of cucumbers, a lot of the nutrition is in the skin of different foods. So just something like that. And of course, you do not need to use lemon cucumbers. You could use any kind of water-rich, non-sweet fruit tends to be the best base. So whether it's cucumbers or bell peppers or tomatoes or
Dog's legs, dog's noses,
Baba.
dog's eyeballs.
Not be rude, Baba. Okra could also be another great one to put in there. So I'm using 4 of these little guys. That might be like using 1 normal cucumber or whatever. It depends, you know, how much you want to make, how many people are eating. This is not an exact recipe or exact science. So I've got that for now, and then I'm going to add in greens. I just went and picked all these beautiful fresh greens from our garden. We've got a couple of different kinds of lettuces here. We've got purslane. Love purslane. It's really good for getting omegas into your body, omega fatty acids.
I haven't had purslane in 5 months.
Oh.
I'm dying. Ah!
Baba. Cilantro. I really like putting some kind of herb for flavor into energy soup, and I often use cilantro from the garden. You could use fennel or parsley or basil or whatever you like.
Or dog's furs, dog's tails, dog's bones.
Baba. And it's nice to put in some dark greens, of course. I've got some little bits of, I think these are called like bok choy or pak choy or something like that. So just whatever greens you can get hold of. Great if you have some wild ones in there, like the purslane or whatever you got. I wouldn't put anything in personally that has a really strong flavour, other than whichever herb you're using, just because it can get a bit overpowering. I like to put in the juice of a whole lime. We do not have lemons here in Ecuador, they're very rare, so we use limes, and I really like using a lot of lime juice, so you might prefer to use less, but I love it when it's like really zesty and zingy. So I take the seeds out, and then I just squeeze them in by hand like this. And then you're always looking to balance the 5 flavors with raw recipes. So another flavor to get in here is salty, and I'm going to put in dulse seaweed to get my salty part. The sweet's going to come from the combination of the cucumber with the lime juice. God, what else is there? The sour is coming from the lime juice. The spicy...
The dog's liver.
Baba. And then the creamy is going to be these last 2 ingredients. I can't remember if creamy is the exact one, but it's something like that. Fatty, creamy, something like that. I'm going to put in some of this beautiful fresh Ecuadorian avocado. I tend to put in 3/4 of an avocado at this point, which is quite a lot. It makes it like very thick and very creamy.
And out here, that would be 22 cents for 3.
You could for sure put in less or more or whatever you wanted. I like to leave some of it, and I use it for like little nori wraps on the side of my soup. And the last thing I put in, which definitely is not essential, if you don't have any of this, don't be concerned, lecithin. I like to put it in because it's really good for the brain. And
why is it good for the brain? What has it got?
It's got choline! And it's hard to get choline when you're vegan. So I put in a little bit of lecithin every day. I find it hard otherwise to get lecithin into myself, but if I just put in like a little bit of this, I mean, what's that? It's like a teaspoon or something. Into my energy soups, it makes my soups creamier, and it's like I don't even really like taste it, or not that it tastes unpleasant, I just seem to struggle otherwise. If I don't throw it into something like a nut milk or a soup or something, I just don't consume it. So this is a good way of getting it into yourself. And that's it, and you just blend it up. Which, depending on your palate and aesthetic choices, may or may not look or taste very exciting to you at this point in your life. It's something that I really love though, and I love that it's so easy to digest this stuff. You know, so much more than eating a salad or eating heavier food. You know, this has got so much fresh, good, green, water-rich, nutrient-dense stuff in it. It's really easy for the body to use it all because it's all in a like pre-digested form. You know, it's all blended down. So this was one of the main things that Dr. Ann Wigmore was doing with people in her healing centers to help them to heal, because a lot of people who are in a state of disease don't digest well, And so she would have them on green juices, they would be doing colon cleansing, and they would be eating energy soup like this as one of their forms of sustenance.
And drinking wheatgrass juice.
Drinking wheatgrass juice. Rebounding and being nice to themselves. Things like that. So that's it. Voila! It makes like nice little bowl of beautiful energy soup. I love it. There we go.
And who do we got there?
Angela Stokes-Monarch.
And Matt Monarch. Rocking the dog food in the smoothies. Ooh, my boy. And we'll see you again tomorrow at the Raw Food World TV show.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.